Hey everyone, Pastor Tritton here with what I think is an exciting announcement that we are going to be able to have, at least as an option, in-person worship services starting this weekend, Sunday, May 31st. The services will be at 8:15 and 10:45, just as they were in the past, and it's going to be a little bit different. We have to take some precautions, and I'll talk about that a little bit more in a minute. But one of the things I want to make really clear right up front is that we will continue to offer an online presence. We will live stream the 8:15 service. So basically, if you check in at 8:15, you'll be able to watch that service exactly as it's happening. And then at the end of that service, you'll be able to see the video of Bob's children's message. And after that, the brief Bible study that I've been preparing. And you'll be able to get all of that at home still. So if it's not safe for you to come, you please continue to worship from home. It's okay. After that service goes through the first time, everything will be available on demand. So if you miss it at 8:15 and you want to watch the service at 9:34, you are welcome to pick it up then, and it will be ready for you. And we will not be having the Lord's Supper at this initial worship service. We need to figure out all of the processes of getting people in and out and doing that in a safe and efficient manner. And so we're bites at a time. And our hope is that we can kind of slowly and steadily add things to the service. And that, my opinion anyhow, is that it's easier to add things than it is to start too big and then have to pull back. And so this will be a non-communion service, just like we've been doing online. But we really do hope, and we are making plans to get back to a Lord's Supper worship service very soon. So keep that in your prayers. Now, I said there are going to be, well, it's going to be different. There are going to be some restrictions on what happens in the worship service. We will limit the number of people allowed in a worship service to a maximum of 40. And that means that you're going to need to sign up to be in one of the worship services. We studied the sanctuary, and we feel that with 6-foot distancing, we can very safely get 40 people in the sanctuary. To sign up for one of the worship services, you do one of two things. There is a link in the email that this came with to Sign Up Genius, and you can sign up there. If you are not comfortable with Sign Up Genius, you can call the office, and Becca will help you get signed up. Now, this Sunday we are planning on doing 2 worship services. That means 80 people. Before Corona hit, there were 200 people in a worship service on a Sunday. I'm recognizing that some of you are going to self-select to stay home because that's what's safest for you. But at the same time, I'm a little bit concerned that some of you might not be part of that 80 and you'll be disappointed. And if that is you, right up front, I apologize. In the future, we will add more services. We're trying to figure this out as we go along. Thank you for your patience. Thank you for your prayers. We really are sorting this out. And I think that we're doing this in a good and responsible manner. But even as I say that I think that we're doing this in a good and responsible manner, there are risks involved in gathering in person. And we have instituted these procedures to mitigate those risks. But we cannot make them all go away. So when you sign up, when you show up for church on Sunday, you will be given an assigned seat. Those assigned seats are based on a floor plan that has been drawn up to allow for maximum distancing to get the most number of people into a worship service as we can. The worship service will be up on the screen. You are welcome to download the worship service to your iPad, tablet, or whatever you use. You're welcome to print it at home and bring it with you, but we're not going to print the bulletins. We want less things where we have to get close to you to hand them to you. We want to keep that distance, less things left behind, and just trying to make it as minimal contact as possible, which I'm going to say right now breaks my heart. I really want to be able to hug you, shake your hand, pat you on the back. God willing, we'll get back to that, but we're not there yet. We want you to wear a mask. We're going to require people to wear a mask. And so, when you come, we're going to ask you some questions about your health, and you need to have a mask on in order to come in. Another major difference, and if you watched, you noticed this, instead of when we release from the service, everybody coming out at once, we're going to release from the back of the church. And people will go out. And while we very much want you to be able to talk to each other, but we can't have you cluster inside the church. And so when you leave, we're going to ask you to just go right straight through, back out into the parking lot, and back toward your car. In the parking lot, weather permitting, you are more than welcome to visit. Please be mindful of distance, mindful of people trying to get in and trying to get out. But we don't want you to feel like you have to hustle out and leave. You are more than welcome to gather in the lot and to enjoy one another's company, but to do that safely, please. And lastly, and probably most controversially, we're asking people for now to not sing during the worship services. And I know that has been something that's been very frustrating to people and even very upsetting. And I apologize for that. Once again, we feel from our studies and looking at the research that this is one of the areas that we need more information about before we want to just open this up for everyone. That doesn't mean there won't be music. We want there to be music. That's an important part of our worship. We're going to have a couple of people, maybe 3 people, situated where they're not going to be breathing on everybody, singing into microphones, so that you're welcome to hum along, to listen, to receive that word. At home, obviously, you can sing as loud as you want. But when we're gathered for that worship service, we're asking people to not sing, and I will join you in that. And I know that that's going to be sad and frustrating for people. I get it, I do. But at the same time, we're working through a process. We will get there. I keep thinking of Governor DeWine saying, there will be baseball again. There will be singing again. We're talking about doing some outdoor services where we can be distanced and we'll be able to sing at those. We're talking about doing a sing-along service. We're looking into getting a radio transmitter so that we could broadcast into the parking lot and we could sing along in there. So please, continue to be patient, continue to sing along, and I hope that you can greet this opportunity to come together as God's people to receive His gifts in person with some joy. One of the things that, I don't know if you've noticed this or not, but in the services that were completely online, when I did the words of absolution, I never did the traditional "in the stead and by the command of my Lord Jesus." I always felt that was kind of weird over the internet. But with a group gathered there, I'm able to look people in the face and to say those words to you again. And I'm really looking forward to this. And I hope you are too. And as I said before, please keep praying about this. We are working on this. With all humility, I think that we're doing a good job. And it hasn't been easy. but we're glad to be at the point where we're at. And please, sign up and come.